Hi, and welcome to my channel. So today, me and my brother Anthony, we're on a road trip to Jeffrey City, Wyoming. Now, Jeffrey City is a modern-day ghost town, and what it is it was a former uranium mining town. The uranium mine closed in 1982. By 1986, 95% of the town moved. It had a population at one time over several thousand, is what it says. As of the 2010 census, it has something like 58 people. I've Google mapped it. It looks very interesting. I think I even know where the old uranium mine is, and it looks like there's some old structures that you can possibly maybe look at. But there is, I know, some other stuff, like there's like apartment blocks, there's a lot of foundations from houses, there's a giant high school that was built at one time with a swimming pool and a whole bunch of stuff, and they're all boarded up. Now, one of the other reasons we're headed here is there's really no videos on YouTube of the place. There's a video where a guy just kind of drove through town, and then there's another one from a truck driver's dash cam where he just drives by the place, and so that's it. You know, other than there's like a University of Wyoming like little video that was on PBS or something like that, and then there's some ones from the only store that's really there is something called like Monkey Pottery. It's a guy that makes pottery, and he also has like a little thrift store there in town. He's got a couple videos, but that's it. That's Jeffrey City, Wyoming. So we're on the way there. We're right now in Sinclair, Wyoming, home of Sinclair Gasoline. Population here is 450 people, something like that. We're gonna go into the little town. Basically, this whole town looks like Mad Max. It's a giant refinery. That's all it is. But then the little town's on the other side of the refinery. So we're gonna drive over there and we're gonna look at the refinery. And then we're gonna head out to Jeffrey City. We're about an hour away-ish. We have to head up to Muddy Gap and then to Split Rock, and it's 14 miles from Split Rock. So we're gonna head there, and yeah, so hopefully keep on watching. Hopefully this video ends up being good. All right, thanks.
That guy's got lots of wood to sell.
Jeffrey City.
Just quick threesome. We're here. Beautiful. Fella here was around here. He said, quote, there were times when he
There's
really
the motel,
thought he
the
was,
Green Mountain Motel.
There was times when he really thought he was really impressive.
It's
You
like
get into
one
these
long mobile
mental
home.
states where he
That is
insisted on
hilarious.
people calling him
That's
Mr.
all that is
President. It was his
connected
alter
mobile
ego.
homes right there. You can tell on this side.
Yeah.
After 400
You get
yards,
half a
you
mobile
have
home. That's
reached
your
your destination.
They're literally recognizing he's so crazy. He thinks
Thanks,
he's
Sat
the
Nav. I think we
president
found
of
it.
the United States.
There's
Actually,
home on the range right there. I've seen that photo thing.
That was the original name of the town.
He started fighting with
It's home on the range, Wyoming. There's the Mockingbird Pottery.
I am the president, not of the United States.
And that's the Split Rock Bar and Cafe. There's the bar. So if you go down this road, Crooks Gap, that's where the mine is.
Look at that place. Solar eclipse 2017 souvenirs. Little tire shop right there.
Start to claim to see demons, not just the presence of them in their brain. They start to say they see demons. There were voices, now they have materialized. Now they
There's an old lounge and restaurant.
Oh, yeah,
There's
see-
the old bowling alleys.
I've seen a video of a guy walking around showing this. Yeah, we showed all that shit.
checked out.
Yep, here's the,
Get the fuck away from him. No, they push his ass right there. Just keep trying.
Yeah, we're gonna drive around first, and then we'll open up. I mean, pretty much together. Some of the stuff.
Hotel.
Don't worry. And the crazy that comes out of that is something special. On two different. Dude, it's just everything
Love
is
it.
so fucked up. It's the
Jeffrey City. Yeah, look, that thing's open.
NFL player.
That one is too.
God, you have a tiny concussion. They keep you out for 3 weeks, which is fine. That's good for your brain.
I mean, it says danger, no trespass.
Imagine a guy
But
was like, yeah, the president of the
I'll
United
put
States. He'd be like, okay, we'll get out there and play defensive end. No, we're not doing that.
The
video was as close as it gets. He was pretty
This is
fucking
the
funny
school.
for a while. That was like an act. Yeah, this isn't.
Yeah, look at the rails.
Behind closed doors. He's not doing this shit like the cameras. There's no fucking cameras. These are the people that are helping him.
Gonna mow the road.
There's demons, and I see it in my
bit.
brains. In fact, I'm like,
Champ, I brought you a water, and I brought you a protein bar. Is there anything else I can get for you? Can you tell that demon to leave, please?
no,
There's the old Wyoming. So what's it say?
on the range, a tiny community, blah, blah, blah.
A post office, gas station.
Then came the bust in early 1980s, and when uranium busted, Jeffrey City faded away. 1982, only 1,000 people remained. The uranium market dipped lower and nearly everyone left town. Homes were wheeled away and families left in droves. Today, the population is less than 100 and Jeffrey City is a quiet, once again, though the vacant streets still whisper the thousands who once lived and played here. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can't really make out this.
You can't read that thing at all. The fact that the lights are trying to work.
Yeah, that thing is.
Yeah. It is a ghost town. There's my camera back here. Here's my shoes.
It's like whatever, someone lives there though with the panda.
There's gonna be a little bit of wind noise. It's a little windy here in Jeffrey City. One next to it's empty, and the other one
Next to it is empty. Yeah, it's like all I could read on that thing was no trespassing for that little. That must be where that natural gas is. Probably. Yes, there's Shepherd's Chapel right here. There's a fucking collapsed building over there. Oh, look at little bird feeders. All popular. Just little, like, little mayonnaise in jars.
townhouse.
Yeah. You want me to drive while you take pictures?
No, I'll just hop out.
It's windy.
So as you can see, there are some houses here in Jeffrey City that people do live in. For instance, that mobile home right there to the right was occupied. It had a do not, enter, no trespassing signs and stuff like that. But as you see, the whole town's laid out in a big giant grid. Every one of these roads are completely overgrown. Some have trees growing up in the middle of them. A lot of them have really broken gravel. And if you haven't been able to tell already in the video, it's extremely windy. I mean, it's Wyoming and we're kind of in the middle of the plains. So, naturally it's just going to be windy anyways, but it was gusting up to 40 miles an hour at times. And there's a lot of stuff that has just been destroyed or beaten up by the wind over the years, which is one of those things that happens here in Wyoming.
is if it's not cared for, the snow or the wind or something's going to get to it. But as you can see, most of the roads and all these lots have been taken over. There's still the electric hookup boxes. In some spots there's chain link fence. For instance, right here to the right was what was most likely a mobile home park, I'm guessing, because there was a large amount of like electric hookup boxes that didn't seem like something that you would probably hook up like a house to. But I mean, they could have been some kind of a portable structure or something like that. But as you see, this road is really gnarly. And right at the end of this road is these 3 basements, basically, these above ground basements. And, you know, I had audio, of course, but it was crazy windy at this point in time. So I just went ahead and turned it off and decided I'd just lay this audio track over it. But yeah, as you can see, there's these three structures right here where houses used to be. These were the basements, and we have just gotten into town, so we haven't really seen all of town yet. This is pretty prominent. There's a lot of these. There's entire swaths of this town full of basically abandoned basements. These houses didn't seem very big, the ones that were on top of them, or, you know, some of the other ones are really small, almost like it would be some kind of a mobile home or something like that, with a basement. But yeah, there's a lot of them here. And so, you know, it's kind of interesting to look at all this. This town is a trip, and it's crazy. And I wish I lived closer. I wish it wasn't a 5-hour drive, or I would come and hang out in this place all the time. This place is just amazing. But anyways, you know, I'm just going to let the video speak for itself. I'll be tuning in a little bit. I'll try to play audio when the wind isn't just too crazy. And let's crawl back into the truck and drive around a little bit more of town.
The people that live here probably work for State Department, government.
Yeah.
Government, some kind of government work. Let's drive around the airport.
Yeah. Looks like only about 12 people there. I was waiting until a good old boy comes see what we're doing. This is definitely one of those towns.
I don't think anybody gives a fuck. I think it's one of those towns where it's like you just don't fucking care. You just do your own thing.
Yeah.
You know, unless we were sitting there trying to hook up that trailer right
Of course,
there.
it's 1:45 too. Whoever has jobs is gone.
Mm-hmm. They're at work right now.
I know the old fucking just fire hydrants and shit.
I mean, look at all these.
I know, it's like someone lived there.
Yeah.
I should just have to keep this out.
Look,
Stop. I'll take a photo right
I'm
here.
taking a right.
Oh, well, right here was a perfect photo. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Go ahead.
Then I had these house foundations and all of those.
Yeah.
You'll see these on Facebook.
That guy was giving us a look.
I know, because it's like, what is that giant building? That's new.
That might be the church.
The church was on the other
Look,
side.
all those are
I know, just foundations.
bunch of foundations too.
This road's shut off.
I think I can turn around.
Yeah, these are like mobile home foundations.
Foundations that had basements or something.
Government made, I think, because look, they're all just the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to drive around Jeffrey City. You don't know what the actual roads are.
You just kind of look for the pavement.
Parts of pavement equal road here. This one. Yeah, definitely modern ghost town. Now that's vacant, it looks like. Possibly.
Yeah, I would go with vacant. 'Cause look at the smokestacks.
Yeah. Oh, that's what those were. You couldn't tell from the other angle.
I don't even know how you get there. Right there.
That's their
Drive.
whatever. This look at the roadside. Whatever CK lane.
Yeah. But I don't think you can drive there unless there's
No.
another road that goes behind it.
Yeah, that looked like it was something. It was big. Convention center. Look at these foundations. Jesus. Some steps. Former steps. That's it. There's I like the mobile home next to the
I mean, we're on a street.
next to the
As long as we're not like doing anything illegal, you're all right. That's what I always say.
Yep.
You know, I mean, dude, there's not a cop here in town or anything, so
There's the library right there, dude. That's what these vehicles are parked at. That's the fucking city library. Jeffrey City Branch Library. I'll get a photo of it.
yeah, we'll come back around to it for sure. There was a door open on one of these. Well, look, those ones have no doors at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you just needed a place to live, though, well, son turned 18, so he moved into that house.
I think, like, maybe with all the danger, though, these are all old, it's just filled with asbestos.
Probably.
Asbestos, lead, asbestos.
I'm just gonna put my hand down.
So here are these townhouses, and they were just like the white one. They're all set up in this giant circle, and as you saw, one of them was the public library. There's some people that live in a couple. They're pretty beaten up by the weather. This one I was going to walk into, and then there was a door slamming, and I figured out it was actually this closet right there, that hall closet, and it was the wind kicking it open. But they do have a basement, and the floor just didn't look right. I don't, this is pretty early in the trip, so I wasn't really feeling too gutsy to brave it. Plus, there was a local that did see us kind of in town there, so didn't really want to take too much. But just take a look at these stairs. This is just from the wind. This is the wind here in Wyoming eating away at a staircase for the last 30 years. And that's what it looks like. As you can see, these were pretty big. They look like they were nice. I mean, I have seen a lot worse. So, yeah, the housing accommodations didn't look too bad here in Jeffrey City.
Go out towards that church.
That big one, or
It's the fucking livelihood of the town.
the actual church?
I mean, I can show it. Yeah. The fucking library is hilarious. Like, that's one of those things that, like, you guys want some books? I'll bring you all my books.
Yeah, the floors didn't look very
No.
stable in there. So
I was saying you can see right in and see the kitchen.
no, that's why I was like, just put the camera inside.
That church is on this thing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that was listed as actually being in this town as a church. Yeah. Like people basically live over here.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to drive that towards it's special. We gotta go to that side of town. Oh, that's a massive old goal just facing the.
I don't think anybody lives in that local home anymore.
That is looking. That's some good fucking. Just shredded.
Oh, dude, you had to see the steps back there. That's what I was taking photos of. The wind had just totally like gnarled them all
Oh, really?
on the whole inside.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool car.
Working on his car.
Oh, this is Jackpot Road. Jackpot Drive. It's all like gambling names almost.
This town is crazy. Look at this. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was what I saw. Fucking the wind shreds shit. Just fucking twist those.
Oh, it caught on fire. The trailer, if somebody's.
And then they twist. Just like all the ones you see in Oklahoma, you see them everywhere. In Kansas. And you always think they're hit by the things, and just once the board things break and it starts bending, it just goes like a fucking slinky, yeah, fucked up slinky. And there's some giant fucking like little quarters over there. Hotel or some shit.
Yeah, that's what those were, I think.
Make sure you go slow, right? There's children out.
Whoa. That's funny though, that's the library. That apartment building.
Yeah.
So it looks like they use like one little chunk, like this maybe, of the whole school and the playground. That's about it. This school's fucking cool though.
Truck-free school zone, right?
Shit. The TI in network.
I know, that's what I was saying.
There's
Tie
some-
in network.
Look at these guys.
Fucking big old woods.
So we went ahead and pulled over. We had to look at these guys. They were just hanging out in a yard there, in big empty lot. And I don't even know if you can really call them yards anymore. And they were just eating. They didn't really care that we were taking photos of them or anything like that. So it's good to know that there's plenty of those antelope, pronghorn antelope, I think they're called, running around. But anyways, this is going to be the end of part 1. If I make the entire video, it'd probably be close to an hour, and I don't want this video to go that long. So I'm going to break this up into 2 parts, and this is a good part to stop. So there we go. You've seen the bulk of where the houses were. We're now going to go to those big buildings. We're going to go to the school. We're going to go to what we keep on saying is the church, but it's actually a gymnasium. And it's weird. It doesn't even have like a road to it. You have to kind of go off-road to get to it. So, I mean, it literally was built, and then they never built the road for it before it closed, more or less, I guess. And we're going to check out the school, and we're going to check out these big buildings. One of them is the home for bachelors, it said, and stuff like that. They were some kind of, workers' apartments or something like that, or a hotel. So we're going to check those out in the second video. So come back, watch again. Thanks for watching this one, and hopefully you tune into part 2 of Jeffrey City.